the whole thing looks absolutely ridiculous. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be pulling that cab off of that truck and that cab off of that truck and putting that cab onto that frame. So yeah, stay tuned if you want to learn how to do this while I learn how to do this. All right, so some of the things I've got to help me pull that cab up off the truck is going to be a sketchy looking farm jack, an engine hoist, 3 4x4s, and 4 jack stands. These guys are actually kind of cool. I just got them recently. They go almost 4 feet tall. It's like 47 inches. Yeah, I think 47 inches will be a pretty solid height that we need. I've done a little bit of measuring, so I didn't just buy that size out of the blue because I thought I wanted it, but in here, we definitely have to clear. So yeah, I definitely have to get the body high enough to clear this spring tower. But then I was looking over here and it looks like we've got our ABS, and if I don't want to rip off all these lines and do all that crazy stuff, this is like 46 or 45 inches. So gotta get that up 46 inches so we can, well, not really the front side, but the back side's got to go up that high so we can roll the frame out from under here. Currently, the plan is to run a 4x4 underneath each side, like the front and then the back, and then just slowly jack it up. I think I'm gonna have the engine hoist back here. We'll hook a chain there and we'll like slide the engine hoist this way and lift it. And in the front, I think I could just, for the most part, jack right here with the farm jack. If I can't just do the one farm jack in the middle, I'll go side to side, and then as I lift the front of the cab on one side, I'll lift the jack stand on that side, and I'll switch to the other side. And it'll be a little less stable that way, but I think it'll all work out. We're not keeping this cab. We don't really care about this cab. I don't want to ruin it in case somebody needs parts or whatever off of it. I do plan on maybe selling it or something. I don't need it, but just saying we're not really worried about the cab. But yeah, I think I'm going to start with getting the cab off of the 6.7 first, and then we're going to pull the frame out from underneath the Bronco. I'll set the cab for the 6.7 on the Bronco frame. We'll put it in the side yard, and then we'll roll the 6.7 frame underneath the Bronco. Yeah, and then we'll explore what all needs to be done to make that fit. So that might be another video though. Let's see if we can get this cab off this truck. Cab off this truck, cab off this frame. All right, so I think we're at the point where we're ready to lift this cab. I got all 6 cab mounts out, disconnected these harnesses. I pulled the coolant tank and battery thing out of the way, battery tray. This is your brake booster. It has a little O-ring here. It seals right here for this vacuum. If you don't have that installed, your power brakes don't work very good. We did it on my buddy's truck when we lifted the cab off of his to put his engine in. And we found an O-ring on the ground. We're like, oh, cool. I don't know where that is. Whatever, it's fine. And he drove it around and didn't have power brakes very good. So I also broke this little barb off. So yeah, I didn't even know this was here, but it looks like this is your vacuum tank. Or, well, yeah, obviously your vacuum pump. But there's like a line that runs from up here by the coolant tank and it runs down and boom. And I put like put a pair of channel locks on there to get the clamp off. And as soon as I did it, it just snapped off. This little one came off easy, but yeah, you can see it broke off in there. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that. I don't know if I'm gonna have room to fit this whole thing. If I do, cool. I'll probably have to buy, it looks like a whole new degas bottle and battery tray and vacuum piece because it looks like it's all the same part. But if I can't even use this, if I can't even use this, then that's fine too. I can use something like the 7.3 Super Duty had. They had like a little tank. It's not as big as this one, but it'll effectively do the same thing, I think. So yeah, other than that, this thing looks like it's ready to come off. So there she goes. It's a little sketchy. All right, I think we're to the point now where we can pull this frame out from underneath this cab. I've changed up a couple of little things after I was looking at it. I was like, oh, it might not work very well, so I'll show you that. One of the things was taking this ABS module off of here, because if you look at like where that 4x4 is back there, that would have to go up to 48 inches, and this is already at like 40 something inches, so it's gonna go up like another 1.5 feet, which is crazy. Like, that's super. This thing's already massive compared to my house. My neighbors already think I'm stupid, so yeah. So I decided to put the jack stands up front here in front of the wheel. Take the ABS module off. The line's flexed / bent a little. I think it'll be fine. Nothing's kinked. The only thing I couldn't get off was this transmission dipstick. The bolt over there like tightened up while I was taking it off, so I was like, whatever. It's gonna have to flex and get out of its own way. We'll just make sure it doesn't pull the body or anything. Then I got the jack stands back here. Another reason I didn't go with the 4x4 above the shock tower, the spring tower, was because it's already not wide enough to clear the wheel, even with this straight. I only got 8-foot 2x4s. Probably should have got 10, but then we'd be bowing a lot more than we already are. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wheel the frame back all the way to this jack stand, and then I'll have to like jack it up, move the jack stand in front of the wheel, and then roll it back further, or something like that. We'll figure it out when we get there. But yeah, right now I think I'm gonna move that pig so we can start pulling this guy out. All right, well, there it is with the frame off the cab. I gave the frame a little pressure wash here, and it's looking a lot better. So there's things we got to do to this still, but I lowered that down to a safe height, and now it's time to work on number 2. So the first thing I'm going to do with this guy is take off the fenders and the hood, because it doesn't really have like a structural core support like this does. That's part of the body. This one, the core support, hangs onto the frame and holds the fenders up. So if I lift the body, the fenders are just going to sag. This is just going to be a problem. Plus, it's less to deal with if there's less on the front. So yeah, I'm going to start with that. I'll take the fenders off, the hood off, and I might do the cab bushings real quick, and then catch back up with you. she's looking super ghetto now. Yeah. So I got both frames behind each truck. All right, so what's gotta happen next is I gotta take the frame for this one and I gotta drop the Bronco on it, and then I gotta lift this back up and put this back on the Bronco frame so I can move to the side of the house. But we're running out of sunlight and I need the driveway tomorrow. So this might not get filmed. If it does, it'll be more of a time lapse, but yeah. If it doesn't get filmed, I'll see you guys on the other side of that. And yeah, we'll talk about the next steps after that, but I'm gonna rush through this. Sorry if you don't see it, but I gotta get it done, so. So, as you can see behind me, there is a resemblance of a Bronco on a frame here. It's a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this is what we got going on now. So I lined up the back wheel because I didn't want to try to line up the front and then have the back of the Bronco sitting on the wheel or have to take this wheel off or anything. But yeah, you can kind of see how much we need to remove from this frame. So it should be about 12 inches from this door to the fender, which would be roughly where that wheel would be. So, I mean, looks like it's gonna be a lot of work, but I think it's definitely gonna be less work than trying to put that other engine inside the Bronco frame, because everything's just gonna fit in this frame. So right here, this is where I'm trying to shorten it, so you can kind of see that's about 18 inches there. The only thing here is the fuel pump on this side. There's nothing else on the other side besides some wires. So this fuel tank's gonna be out of the way because we have to do a rear tank because of where the fill port is on the back of the Bronco. So you're not gonna have a midship tank here at all, which means we're gonna have to cut out like the spare tire carrier back there. But that's a problem for future me. Other than that though, I think some of this stuff might just kind of line up, like this body mount sort of close to where it needs to be as far as inboard outboard of the truck. So that hopefully will be a good landmark of where this thing needs to be. I think next up we're gonna reseal this. I was having an oil leak out of the back of this oil pan here. So I'm not sure if it was actually an oil leak, because I did seal it up pretty good. I used all new gaskets. I think what happened was the CCV was clogged up and it was pushing oil out of the rear main here. Because if you look, because when I pulled the transmission apart, there's a ton of oil back here. So either that oil pan's leaking or that CCV's clogged. Either way, I'm gonna take care of both those issues. We're resealing this oil pan. I have a brand new rear cover gasket and rear main. Since we're in here, we're gonna replace this little guy because I broke it. It's for the crank position sensor, so it goes right here. So when you replace it in the truck, you can it helps to aim it pretty much. Otherwise, you gotta pull the whole engine and get it in there. So yeah, got a new one of these. Got a couple new lines because these were leaking pretty bad before. I don't know if that's because of the line or because this thing's pretty much oval shaped at this point. So I started with the cheaper thing. The lines were leaking, so I'll replace the line. If that keeps leaking, we'll pull this lower pan and put a new oil cooler on there. It should be accessible because it's going to be in the same frame as the 6.7. So yeah, so we got a few things to do. That'll probably be the next iteration of the 6.7 Bronco swap. There'll be a couple things before that that'll have to get done because there's a new project. So that'll be the next video. We'll be working on this new project. We have to have side projects just to keep busy, you know? Also known as me having a problem. But yeah, we got another one. Yeah, I think I think it looks pretty cool up there. I think my favorite part is the exhaust. I think my favorite part is the exhaust. 6.7 on the back of the Bronco. Like, it looks absolutely ridiculous. Don't mind the trailer lights. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.